Hey YouTubers, this is Kamikaze Fly here, and I want to show you what my wizard tower looks like. So in this room, you can see I've got a whole bunch of alchemy chests. This is really my sorting room, and it stores all of the stuff that I find useful. So this nether furnace really isn't that useful, and I'm gonna burn this crafting table because it's not a vanilla crafting table. Over here I got Alkema Furnaces. They're from the Magical Crops mod, and they burn really quickly, so I really like them. And I've got this thing so I can quickly build whatever I have already built really quickly. Anyway, and then here's a vanilla crafting table so that I can make some vanilla stuff. And these things just hold stuff. Now, what I did here was, you can see there's a pipe here and a pipe here in between these things. So what I did was I created a piping system that went from here, and it goes around and up and down all the way over to, it just keeps going and going all the way around the whole mess of that. And so when I stick something in here, like eggs, it throws them through there. It goes and pops them out on the other side somewhere into a box that I selected that they would be created, that they would belong into. I'm going to cover this back up over here, because this isn't really this isn't what my part of the tutorial is. I'm just showing you what my world looks like. Oh no, I lost one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so right here's my shop front, and right here, if anything didn't fit into a specific block, then it gets shot out here as a last resort spot, and that's cool. And then here, stuff that I sell to anybody who wants to come by. It's extra stuff and stuff that I think is useful that other players might like. I don't like villager creatures walking up and walking in, so I usually put buttons here so that they can't just walk in, because they're not smart enough to press a button, which is great. On the outside here, I've got my botanical items. I'm gonna make some magic cookies. Yay, mana cookie! And then what I've got here is, I used to use this stairway, but now I'm a full-fledged wizard. I don't need to use stairs. So I made this open blocks elevator, and I just press jump on it, and it takes me to the next level. Here's my ARS Magica 2 altar room, crafting altar, and I've got an obelisk and a battery, different items. Some that I haven't figured out yet, some that I have. I just thought that looked cool, so I stuck it there. And I put these things into the floor. Next level, I come over to this. I'm going to go back down to show you. This is where I was. I go up 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors, 5 floors. And that's all for now. I used to have a 6th floor, but I couldn't find a use for it yet, so I repurposed the blocks. Here you can see my golem. He's busy filling the chest with nether warts. And this golem, he is busy tearing out nether warts. When one grows full, he goes and picks it. And then the other one goes and picks up the stuff that he drops and puts it in here. We'll go down now. This is my magical farm. This was my testing ground. So what it does is this thing harvests anything in front of it for a huge distance, an 11 by 11 radius plus 3, so like a 15 radius. And then it shoots items out the back of it into this, and this then pumps items. And if there's one, this is yellow, and so if the item is here, it will dump them in here, and if it's not in here, then it will send them over to this area where there's a seed. And if there's no seed in here that matches, then it just won't put it anywhere. And so those seeds, it'll just keep planting and planting whatever seeds it has. I have it set to not use up the stack, so consume stack off, so that it has always something that I'm making in there. And coal seems to be very productive for me to make. And here's my fish tank, the bottom of it. Here's a whole bunch of mechanical things. I wanted to make some forestry beehives, so I have this set up like that. And if I put cherries in the squeezer right here, then it outputs oil. And instead of connecting it to putting a bucket here, I have it connected on the other side with this fluid pipe, and it shoots oil, seed oil, onto this side. And so whenever it has enough, it then creates one and puts it here. And I put this power unit here. This is a really large solar panel, and it sucks all the juices, sucks down solar power, and I'm too close to that. This thing is a sludge boiler, and right now it's turning sludge into dirt or whatever it feels like making. And I've got a whole bunch of items here, but for the most part, these ones are pulverizers. They crush an ore and turn it in an ore block. They crush an ore block and turn it into pulverized copper, like twice as much. It's just as good as the smelter is, except it also makes an extra sum of items too. So this copper, pulverizing copper, created some gold. And I made a whole bunch of centrifuges so that when I play with my magic bees, I can quickly shred all of their juices into something neat. Their honeycombs. Now I'll go up the floor. Here's my my Thaumcraft area. It became so big that I had to create another area just to centrifuge things here. So there's a Essentia Crystallizer. What that does is it takes the juice out of this bottle and drains it into here, and then dumps them into here. So it's a nice little fun toy. It makes it so I don't have to use extra bottles, and I can reuse my bottles instead of... And they go like this. I'll just show you, because... So it sucks 3 or 4 down, but it actually only uses one of them. And then there's one stuck in here. I'm going to use my thing to show you. It has one Lux Essentia inside it, and this one does too. This one doesn't have any, and this thing is suctioning at a power of 63 of nothing. No, I think it's sucking at 128, and right now it doesn't need to have suction because it's processing. So then it's going to suck one up, and then that one's going to move to here, and then that one's going to move to here, and so see, it just created one and used it. So now there should be one here and one here, but of course there's none here. And then it's nice to retake these items, these empties, and go actually put them to use somewhere, like here. Looks like I had a bunch of spiritus that needed to be spent, or not spent, but brought out. And I don't really need 3 of these. In fact, I don't usually put a third one here because it gets confusing and it doesn't know what it's doing. And I don't need that one, but I got it. I'm going to close this. So it took 2 Vitus. I had too much Vitus right here. I'm going to show you. Look at that. I already had Vitus here, but I didn't have it connected to this. So that's why it spit it over there. Here's something kind of neat. If I take, if I take this and I put it, say, right here, and then I put, no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, so now it's going to try to dump back. I guess it used it all. Great. That's fine. Well, it put it somewhere. And it's empty now. That's why it's very important to know what your items all go into. I was going to try to drain it into there because it has more suction, but it didn't turn out very well. So, as a show, I'm going to I'm going to change this Victus into whatever I can change it into. Because there's not very often that I can use Victus until very end level items. So, I'm going to do that. Whoops, I had delete off, or delete on, so I shouldn't have done that. I thought this little guy was going to go pick stuff up. I'm going to turn off magnetism because it's unnecessary at this point. So what happens here with this Alkema Furnace is it creates it's going to create 3 items. It's going to create ARS Magica and Infernus. So you can see here there's some Infernus, some Percancio, Magincio, and the herb is starting to build up, so I put this here, so now it'll suck down just the herb. And the reason why I waited there, because if it would just start putting them everywhere if I don't delay or something, which isn't really, it's not a bug, it's just that's how it does. And I can turn this thing into a hell furnace or an inferno furnace or something, but I'm not sure why I need to really at this point. And you can see, well, sometimes. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create another furnace, or not furnace, but another thingy. So it stores the mana right inside of it, not the mana, the vis. And this purple bar, it stores up all the vis that it's storing and stuffs it in this side. And that's really why you'd want an infernal furnace, I'm guessing, is so that it'll distribute the vis faster. And that really used it up fast. I wonder why. There, now it's really going to fill up that one faster. And then I'm not actually in creative mode. I'm wearing a Zivico armor set. Now it's draining it all into the Magincio Percancio. And then this one here, I can connect it to no. I right clicked it there, so you know. There. Now it's draining it all the way over to this bucket. And this flying Zivico armor from the Magic Crops mod is actually really nice for trying to figure out what's going wrong with this Thaumcraft stuff, because something is going to go wrong, and it's pretty hellish when it does. It sucks. So over here you can see my Victus juice bottle, Essentia bottle. It's going up, and it made water and terra, aqua and terra. So I can take this terra bottle, and I don't have an aqua over here. But I can put this terra down here, and it'll drain into there, and it'll start making more. And I'm going to put this FOM's warded bottle here, but I'm going to right click it so I take back the picture off of it, and now it's going to take all of the water and put it down into here. And I put the label on the outside, and that's really nice that you don't have to pre-make the labels. You can just slap it on the bottle and it'll take its name. Because I at first thought you had to pre-make the labels, which kind of would have sucked. But I think this might have been Owl, and Owl was, I forget what Owl makes, or Owl comes from. Here's an Owl. He makes what I just showed you. But I forget what makes Owl. I think it might be, I'm not even going to say what I think it might be, because I'm pretty sure I'll be wrong. glowstone dust. I think that might make Al. I'm not sure. It's been a week or two since I played this mod. Since I played Minecraft, but this is the mod that I like to play, is all of these things at once. Put that water back. I don't need it. Sanyo. There's only a couple ways to make that, and it's usually with life potions. So that one's really expensive to make and a wild process. It takes a lot of stuff to make it. This Percancio is really valuable because it's used for so many different different items. Now this Infernus, what I like to do with it, since there doesn't seem to be anything else to do, is centrifuge it with this centrifuge and make it into more Percancio. And so, let's see, do I have more Percancio? Oh, it's gonna do Infernus instead. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna reuse this and put it down here for Percancio. Empty jar starts to suction down stuff. Now this Essentia resonator that I've got right here is really good for trying to figure out what's actually inside the pipe at the time. And sometimes it even seems like things will start to work if you hit it with it. I'm not really sure about that, but that's how I felt at first, was that it was doing stuff for me. Anyway, I have all of this stuff over here where I was making, I think, golems. So I was making a bunch of Thaumcraft golems. I was going to make or Thaumium golems. I was going to make a little army of guards to destroy bad guys more faster or easier. I came across this really wicked place in the dungeon. In a dungeon where they were spawning creepers and blazes, tons of blazes, creepers, zombies, skeletons. Like, they had to have 12 different blocks that were spawning all at the same time, or monster spawners that were spawning all at the same time. And so, well, this thing right here, Munionic Matrix, it's supposed to save 2 more recipes, and you stick it like on the side of your thing, but it doesn't allow you to make 2 more recipes at the same time because it'll only store 1 item. So it's an incredibly lame object to use. In fact, it seems to cause bugs when you use it. If you have it attached, and it'll make you wonder which one it's going to use. I've seen it drain like an entire thing of air doing nothing just because it thought that it should drain all my air. Like this air. AER. It started to drain my Ignis before, and so how I have it set up now is that I've got six pipes. On this side there's 5, 6, 7. So I got 7 pipes. It goes like this and comes down and drinks out of that one. And this one drinks out of that one. This one comes straight down here, and each one goes to a different spot. And that way, whenever I put in any item, then I can quickly just come over here and, or when I tell it to make an item, like I'm gonna tell it to make one of these, I'm gonna only tell it to do one though. Then it will take the exact amount out. So right now, it's going to take these three right here. So it's going to take 8 Humanus, 8 Spiritus, and 8 Motus. So this should. So anyway, we'll try that now, just for show. And if there's different items, it would. So it's gonna start sucking it down. We can watch it start to suck them down. See, but then once it uses it all, the pipe then releases everything back down and it drains back down into it since the bottle contains suction. So this one's gonna have 4 spiritus in it. So it puts it back when it's done. It puts it back. It puts back what it doesn't use. But it does, each pipe length takes up one of the magic. So now it's used up the block. I'm going to unselect that and it put another guy here. Now if I had put both of those thaumium blocks in, it would have used up this and it would have said, hey, you need to use more, or we need more spiritus, and then it would have been stuck right there. So in fact, since I have more spiritus, I'm going to show you how it does that. I'm going to put 2 blocks in there because I just want to show you what happens. It's going to suck up 4 and it's going to stop production. So it just used up all my modus. I got more modus here, but it's not connected, so everything's cool. And then see, it sucked up my 4, but it needs 8. So now it shows that it has 8 Humanus, 8 Modus, and only 4 Spiritus. And in here, you can see where it shows it only got 4. So since I have more Spiritus, I'm going to smack this and put it in the same spot pretty much, because it seems to work better if I do it like that. I know that that's not actually the case, but I like them in a row so that I know where everything is. So since I had 6 in there, it sucked up 4, plus the 2 came in the pipe. And then when it said, oh, I've got all the 4 that I needed, it sent the other 2 back down in through the pipe. And then it started to make another one. And since I had no modus, it stopped. And that's just fine for me, because I don't really... I'm going to have to look up what to make spiritus out of. And I bet it's out of owl. And I kind of forget which one it... All you have to do is hover over something to see what it makes. But oh, that's all I had to do. Yeah, there's owl. Okay, so owl makes spiritus, and so glowstone dust makes owl and lux. And I can refine lux into light and something else, but I'm going to need to empty these 27. Okay, I'm just going to put this over here. it'll start to, hopefully it only gets the infernus. There have been times it started sucking from everything. The suction became unwanted. Unwanted suction. How can I stop being silly? Okay. So now I am going to grab that infernus that I just made. And I'm going to put it right here. And it's going to make more of this or that. It doesn't have to make them at an even ratio, but it tries to do a 50-50 exchange. I'm going to put this one there because nah, I'll just leave it. So if it has a label on it, it creates twice the suction as it used to have, which it normally has 32 suction, meaning it can suction 32 pipe lengths away. I think this is what I had herba over here for. It'll make water and terra out of herba. And now that I have that going, now I still got herba up there, but I don't need it. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put down a warded jar. And then I'm going to put down some glowstone dust. I'm going to do all 32. Wrong one. And then it starts to create, and it's sticking Lux over there, and it's got an owl on this side. And since I don't really have a use for, I really can use Vacuous and Perconcio, so I'm going to go put those bottles like over here for some reason. And I'm going to take this bottle and I'm going to drain it. Whoops. There. Now it's going to start making Fabrico crystals. That's fine because I don't really need them. But I don't like throwing things out, not even in void jars. I'd rather collect them. A treasure chest is really easy to make, and it really sucks to go, oh man, I really could have used some Sanyo. Or Lux. Lux is really good for making... Lux is used in making golems. So I'm going to divide up this air, or I'm going to crystallize this air because I could use its bottle. And now I'm looking for a spot. I'm going to go put this bottle up here of this Perconcio because this is where I'm going to use it in crafting something in my altar. Let's see, what would I create in my altar? I think I should create a smart golem. Let's see.